All right, so we've drawn our two uprights. We now want to come across to here. Now take note, this is unsaved, so not a very good thing to do. This does not save automatically, so let's save this as a project. We're going to call this the Dartboard version 3. I think I've done a few of these now. My file is going to live in year 11, 2022. Okay, so now we're looking at drawing the top section of our cabinet. Now we know that we made our offset plane 231, which means the distance between these two is going to be 462. So let's go to create, new component, and we can call this cabinet top. We're going to sketch on the top plane. I went to the right there, so let's finish sketch. Let's check what I just did. So I'm going to click back on the house. I'm going to draw the sketch, and I want to make sure. Couple of gremlins in this one. So that's going to be the case. All right, I'll draw it on that front view. So as I zoom out, I'll zoom back in. I'm not going to draw it in place, which is something you might be used to from Google SketchUp, but I will draw just that edge view. So I know that the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw this up here. So at the moment it's a bit too big, that's fine. I'm going to use my dimension tool, and since I am looking at this from a front-on view, I know that my piece of timber is going to be 19 millimeters thick, and I knew that the length that I was after was 462 millimeters. So that's the 2D shape of what I'm after. If I click on the picture of the house, I'll then grab the extrusion tool, and we're going to make this 90 millimeters wide. So there's the cabinet top, my three pieces. What I might look at doing here is getting that joint tool, and what I want to do, I can zoom in a bit here. I want that top right hand face. So you can see at the moment I'm just on the very top. I want to grab the edge. Sometimes it's a bit fiddly, but get in nice and close. So I want that edge, and I want it to be on the inside of there. So I might turn this around. Again, zoom in nice and close. And I drop that there. I can zoom out now, and that is where I want that to go. If I press enter, it's going to stay just there. And so this is now starting to resemble the shape that I'm after. Now, if I was making a dovetail, this is where I expect you to go back and look at, well, should I make that a bit bigger, make that a bit longer? If we adjust this right now, I might grab, that overall length. If I make that 462, 472, I'm making it 10 millimeters longer. Finish sketch, and you'll see that over here it's gone 10 millimeters into my job. If I click at the top, click on all sections of the job, I can see the two pieces of timber that are kind of crossing each other there. What I can do here, if I go to modify, I can look at my different options here, and the one I'm looking for is combine. So what I would like to do is combine this piece of timber, which I've just selected, and then my tool bodies is going to be this piece of timber, and I want to join, or I want to cut, and I want to keep the tool. I'll say OK, and now if I did turn off my cabinet top, I've just shown an example of how I could make a rebate joint for the top of my job. So if you were to draw into your cabinet top the pins for your dovetail, and then do that exact process I just showed you, you would then actually be able to cut away, and you'd make the pins and the tails for your dovetail. You get your tails on top most likely, and then you'd cut away and reveal your pins. So that's how you can draw that. I'm going to undo what I just did then. So I'm just going to draw this as a nice simple shape to allow you to decide what woodworking joints you're going to incorporate into your job. So let's get back to the isometric view. Again, I want to turn all of this on, and I want to mirror that top piece to head down to the bottom. So we know that the overall length is 680. We've got to 19mm bits of timber. So if we do that calculation, 680 minus 38 is going to give us 642. So here I'm going to construct an offset plane. I'm going to look underneath my job, started at that point there, and I said we're going to make, so the whole thing we said was 638. Half of 638 should be 319. 319. Let's check that out. 319. Enter. We are going to create a mirror of that piece from that mirrored plane. Is it letting me select it? So I've got my, that's the piece. Now my mirror is that. We say OK. Go to isometric view. Looks like I was out by a couple of millimeters there. Not a problem. We can then look at selecting this using that move tool. And we can look at sending that the extra millimeter also down. So I'm going to go -1. Have a look. We might make that -2. The most accurate way, or organize our calculations and work out the size we're after. Looks like I was out by 4 in my calculations. Back to the picture of the house, and there is the start of the carcass and that frame of our job.